Okay, Zainab, thank you very much for your invitation today, and welcoming all of our guests all the way from Turkey. Probably I'll switch on my camera only for a moment to say hello to you. And while I'm presenting, I'll prefer to switch off my camera. Today, I will be presenting LUT University of Research from Finland. And during my presentation, I'll have ELP, our Turkish students, joining us for this presentation to talk about his own experience on and off the campus in Finland. And obviously, you can ask questions at the end of my presentation, and you can ask him questions as well. All right, so I'll be switching off my camera while presenting. Okay, Dux. I believe you can see my presentation quite properly.
Yes,
right,
now we can see it.
Yes, yeah. So why Finland? Let's start why Finland. I know that you're very concerned about your future. If you'd like to study abroad, what country would you like to choose? Where would you go in Europe if you choose Europe, or the US, or Britain, or Canada, or Australia? And obviously, Finland is a country in Europe, and it's not yet well known in the Turkish market, but it's getting there, increasingly popular. Before I start my presentation, I'd like to mention that in a year's time, we have already secured more than 80 Turkish applicants this year. We've been only in Turkey with IEFT for a year. We start from a couple of students, and now we have more than 78 students applied. Almost 50 already applied and paid the tuition fees and accepted the study place. So definitely, LUT University is attracting a lot of Turkish students. Hopefully, one day you'll be one of them. Okay, so why Finland? I've compiled some elements about the country. Obviously, you may know more of these, or more than these elements. But these are some key elements to you when choosing to study in Finland. So Finland is the world's happiest country for 8 years now in a row. So what does it mean exactly that we're happy? Does it mean that we smile and laugh all the time? Not really. I think I've seen people smiling and laughing more in Turkey than here in Finland. But the ranking is actually based on how content, how satisfied we are with our life here in Finland. So mainly how satisfied we are with the public institutions. Basically, when we decide something in our life here in the country, the public institutions will say yes to us. In other words, for example, if you've been doing, let's say, health or public health nurse, or you're doing business and you would want to change to engineering in your late 50s, so you're almost in your retirement, you want to change a career radically, start from zero. The public institutions in Finland will say yes. What does it mean they will say yes? They will support you with your current employment, meaning that you can work part-time without being fired by your employer. And at the same time, if you've got kids, then there will be extra allowance given to you to transit from healthcare business into engineering. And more services are offered by the public institutions. This is why the Finns are happy. So for 8 years in a row. Hopefully one day when you join Finland, you join LUT University, become a student in Finland, you will discover to know better about the happiest country in the world. So one of the world's safest country, obviously Finland, it goes without saying, is one of the safest countries in the world, meaning a male or female walking down in the forest in the middle of the night, winter or summer, it's very rare to be approached by a stranger. Now, the cleanest air in the world, obviously we have a lot of forests and lakes, and this is where the clean air derives from. Top OECD country in education. So what does it mean, top OECD country in education? It means K-12, from kindergarten all the way to high school. You may be wondering, why am I talking about kindergarten all the way to high school? I'd like to study at university. Obviously, when you would like to decide to study abroad, whether you would like to do bachelor's or master's or even PhD, you have a lot of factors to put into consideration, and one of it is that will my kids in future receive quality education, and how much would it cost? Yes, in Finland, education is quality from kindergarten all the way to high school, and it's for free. We're competing with Singapore, yet for Singapore you'll have to pay hefty fees for your kids. Now, Finland is known for its very developed digitalized world that attracts a lot of entrepreneurs, and gradually it's becoming a hub for startups and entrepreneurs. Land of thousands lakes, 70% of forestry and saunas we have in this country. We have 5,600,000 people. We have 3.5 million saunas in this country. You could tell how much saunas mean to us. Obviously, if you join LUT one day or you come to study in Finland, you'll understand the value of saunas. And for us, beautiful, like now in spring, we're already witnessing the greenness kicking in. Land of Santa Claus and Northern Lights. So again, you may wonder why we're talking about Santa Claus. I'd like to come and study at university. Well, basically, these are one of the experiences students can experience from LUT University by going into excursions to discover the country or explore the country. Another place to go is the Santa Claus and the Northern Lights, which is based in Lapland. Least corrupt country in the world. Finland is the least corrupt country in the world. What does it mean exactly for you as a student or a person who looks to study and stay probably in Finland? It means simply if you do 50% of your obligations in this country, you're getting 50% of your rights. As simple as that. Okay. I think we wouldn't have time to talk about forestries, saunas, and shy people, probably on another occasion. We're limited in time. We'll move on straight to the LUT University, the land of the curious. So why we call it the land of the curious? We'll discover that in a bit in the next video from our Professor Matilda. But before we do that, I would like to show you one of our campuses in Lappeenranta. Basically, you may wonder, what is Lappeenranta? What is Lahti? Lappeenranta is a city on itself. Lahti is a city on itself. Why are we recalling the cities here? Because LUT has got two campuses, two large campuses, one in Lahti and the other one is in Lappeenranta. Lahti is 1 hour by train to Helsinki, the capital, and Lappeenranta 2 hours by train to Helsinki, the capital. This is only to give you an idea. Okay, let's have a look at Lappeenranta campus. Probably you wouldn't be able to hear the sound, but at least you'll watch the video. Right. So that was a one of our campuses, the campus from Finlandiya'da, where I'm checking in today, along with ELP, our students, who will be able to check in quite soon to talk about his experience briefly. But before we do that, obviously we have another campus, LUT, but we wouldn't have time to show you that, unfortunately. Let's move on. So what makes LUT LUT? Let's hear some testimonials from international students and some of our lecturers at LUT University.
Hi, Ilyas. Are you able to swap to the presenter view?
Sorry?
Are you able to swap to the presenter view so we can see it full screen?
Yeah, just a minute.
Thank you.
No, I can't. It's frozen. Let me try. Yeah. Try again. How about now?
Yes, thank you.
Cheers. Okay, so basically, the Land of Curious, we recruit quality students to LUT University, and that's shown in our admission criteria. And these quality students normally come with very curious mentality. And then LUT is a University of Research, meaning they do research gradually as they go in their studies to explore further and further their domains. And then when they do that, they become more and more curious, they ask questions. And obviously, we do not give them answers. They find out answers by themselves through research. And obviously, when they found those answers, we encourage them to use them, leverage them to solve problems within the domain, whether in Finland, probably back in Turkey, or somewhere in the globe. Okay, we're not going to have time to talk about the LUT strategy. Now, LUT in figure, quite quick. The most important figures here, 92% of international students say that they're satisfied with their studies, meaning with the physical premise that we have here and the academic content are well delivered to our students. That's one of the highest in Finland and in the Nordic countries. Now, we have 101 nationalities in the campus, and we're looking to grow even further. LUT University is the most reputable university in Finland. The new data has not come out yet. I believe by the end of 2025, we'll find out more about our reputable university. What does it mean, the most reputable university in Finland? As you can see in millions of euros up there, Ministry of Education and Culture gives us 60 million point and 0.7 last year. Supplementary funding, 58 million. Supplementary funding basically is key. It comes from the private sector, like this here. This figure shows that LUT University is #1 when it comes to receiving funds from the private sector. What does it mean? It only tells you that the companies give a lot of credit, high value to LUT University and its research quality and its research members. So they give us the money. Whenever they think about giving budget to universities of research, LUT comes as #1. And we're talking about big companies like Nokia, Kone, UPM, and the list is extended. Okay, so why this is important to you as a potential student to LUT? It's important because we do have the money to expand our laboratories, to make our studies more sophisticated and do more of international expertise changes. You'll find out more about the quality and about the value of the money, the gradually as you go higher and higher, bachelor's and the masters and probably even doctor studies, why not? So LUT has the most certified students in Finland, as I mentioned earlier. Highest salaries in Finland. So basically, again, this gives a picture why, how much companies appreciate our university and its graduates. Now, the ranking, I know it's in Turkey, it's quite important. The rankings, I've been asked many questions about students, about ranking. LUT University, when it comes to times higher education impact, we're 101 to 200. And then by subject business and economics, we're 126, 150. And then when it comes to engineering, technology, 251 to 300. Science and education, world university ranking, general ranking, in other words, is 251 to 300. QS ranking, 351. Yet, we are the 15th in the world in responsible consumption and production. I'm coming to this one because I'd like to highlight why we're doing very well in sustainability. 10th in the world for climate action. Last year, it was 26th, which we have gone higher so fast to the 10th place. So what does LUT exactly do? We do not do any engineering or business or any social communication science studies. Basically, we do them from the perspective of sustainability. So you may wonder, what's this sustainability all about? Sustainability, we know, is a hot and expanded topic, but we focus on clean air, clean energy, and clean water. Basically, at LUT, when you study, whether you do business, engineering, or social and communication sciences, you will have some credits. Your studies will be taken from the perspective of these three important themes, because LUT is #1 contributor to the Finnish government strategy from now to 2032 to make Finland as an attractive country and bring in at least 7 to 8% industries to use renewable energy in this country. So to have the factories to relocate to Finland, but use renewable energy. And our professors work as consultants to the Finnish government on that regard, meaning they will be fully equipped when it comes to sustainability, and it's most likely the future. LUT Business School is the second best in Finland, and yet top world second school in research quality. So this young school is yet now classified as the second top in research quality in the world. That tells a lot about this business school. Second best in engineering in Finland, LUT University's engineering programs. Physical sciences, we are 176 to between 176 to 200 worldwide. Now, education, what do we offer? So now you've been waiting for this. What do you offer? What kind of studies do you have? What kind of bachelor's degrees, master's degrees you offer? For bachelors, we have 8 bachelor's programs in field of technology and business. We will be adding a new program quite soon this year in business as well. So it will become 9. But right now we have 8, 1 in business, sustainable international business, and 8 in engineering. Now, when it comes to masters, we have 33 master's degree programs, 25 in engineering, 5 in business, 3 in social and communication sciences. We have exchange programs. What does it mean, exchange programs? We have 300 partners worldwide. You can go and do a semester abroad in one of the 300 partners that LUT partners with. And obviously, we have doctoral programs. Now, for the bachelor's programs, tuition fees, let me clarify something here for these tuition fees. Before I do that, I'd like to talk about the technology programs and why we have double degree programs and single degree programs. So the difference between double degree program and single degree program, it doesn't mean that you'll study longer. They run for 3 years. But the difference is that in double degree programs, we collaborate with the Chinese university, Hebei University. So why Chinese university? Well, China is rapidly becoming a giant country when it comes to many engineering fields and industries, and one of them are these ones. So LUT University has been proactive to provide both perspectives, the Finnish perspective, let's say in electrical engineering, energy technology, mechanical engineering, software and system engineering, and then the Chinese perspective. Students are not obliged to go to China, by the way. It's an option to go to China. You can go during the year or you can go even in summer for 2 months practical internship in China for free. Now, at the end, eventually, when you graduate after 3 years bachelor's, you receive 2 degree certificates, one from Hebei University, China, and one from LUT University, Finland. Obviously, before you graduate, you would need to pass a Chinese language. You don't need to have any prior Chinese language when you come to LUT University. That's what you learn in our language center for free. Okay, and then we have single degree programs. These are technology and engineering science, industrial engineering and management, computational science, and AI. Now, when you do these degree programs, you can pass on straight to master's without the need for submitting more documents. Basically, you just have to apply for a chosen program. And obviously, when it comes to business, we have sustainable international business. Now, we'll talk about tuition fees in a bit because there are discounts and scholarships on that one. But remember, for now, for the single degree program, it's 9,500 per year for non-EU students. But if you have an EU nationality, obviously, that's for free. 9,000 for double degree program. Okay, master's programs, quite briefly, 13,500 for non-EU students. We'll talk about scholarships and discounts as well on this one, but it's something that comes later after the bachelor's. In masters, we have 33 degree programs, 25 in engineering, 5 in business, 3 in social and communication sciences. As you can see, these are all the departments. For example, in business administration, under that umbrella, there are 5 degree programs. Chemical engineering, you can all check them in our website, and under each department, there are different degree programs. Okay. Now, scholarships and discounts. Bachelor. Let me highlight the point that I mentioned earlier. So for bachelors, the application period is still open until the end of April. I repeat, until the end of April. And this year, we have still the most generous scholarships and discounts for students. And this year is the last in all Finland for Universities of Research and University of Applied Sciences, meaning by May, next month, we'll announce new scholarships, new tuition fees for students, okay? Well, it's been 5 years that we've been this generous, and by the end of April, it will be the last application period. So if you are in two minds and you are already doing your 12th grade in high school and you're thinking whether I should apply or not, probably you should consider highly that this year is the last year for the generous scholarships and discount. So let's talk about scholarships and discount. 9,500 euros minus 2,000 early bird discount for single degree programs. What is an early bird discount anyway? See, an early bird discount is basically when you apply to LUT and you receive an acceptance letter, okay? When you receive an acceptance letter, you're given 4 weeks to accept your study place. Within that 4 weeks, you have 3 weeks to accept and pay your tuition fees, okay? If you pay your tuition fees within 3 weeks, you only have to pay 7,500. You don't have to pay 9,500. Mainly, you are receiving 2,000 euros as a discount, okay? That's the early bird discount. Now, second year, third year, you have 50% off 9,500. You pay only 4,750. And you may ask, say, how would I qualify for this? Normally, 99% of students will qualify for this as long as they complete 60 credits of their studies. That's a natural commitment to your studies, meaning 180 credits for the whole bachelor, divide by 3 years, 60 credits. So you show us that you committed naturally to your studies, we give you 50% off for the second year, 50% off for the third year, okay? Now, double degree programs, it's a bit complex because we have partnership with the Helmut University, China. We have categories, and the first year, we have 2 categories. One is the most generous, one is the least generous. The most generous, you get third off. It's given for 10% of applicants for every single given degree program. Meaning, let's say mechanical engineering is a double degree program. Mechanical engineering, we accept 40 students. Meaning, if you are the top 10%, 4 by 10, 10%, so we're looking at 4 students. 4 students, top 4 students will receive third off. Second category, 40% of the applicants will receive 1,000 euros. So 40% of 40 students, 4 by 4, 16 students will receive 1,000 euros off. Okay, so this is with regards to scholarship and discounts for this year until the end of April. Now, you might be still on the 11th, 12th grade. Well, in that case, I will tell you that next year's tuition fees, there will be an application period next year, starting from November until April again, and the tuition fees will be around 10,000 euros, okay? 10,000 euros. And that will be announced in our website in May with the discounts and scholarships, okay? So let's move on. So rolling admission to bachelor's programs, if you would like to apply still until the end of April, application is still open, you apply through rolling admission, okay? Rolling admission, I repeat, okay? Unfortunately, we wouldn't have time to walk you through on more details on how to apply and so on, but I will tell you briefly what do we require from you. We require GPA 80%, which is a general score of high school in Turkey. 4 years, divide by 4. If you haven't finished your first semester and you'd like to apply in 12th year, you can, yes. So you can do 3 years of high school. The first semester altogether, we see your GPA, we assess you based on that, and we give you acceptance. Later on, when you graduate, by August, you send us your final certificate, okay? Then we have got a mathematics, general mathematics in business, we need 70% at least, okay? Now, required documents for business studies, upper secondary degree certificate, if you graduate, if not, then only your transcript of records, transcript of records all the years, first year, second, third, first semester of 12th year in high school, English language certificate, okay? And we'll talk about language and a copy of passport. Before we talk about language, I'd like to talk to you about technology programs. I know they're very popular in Turkey. We have received a lot of engineering applicants. So for engineering, we are looking for lower GPA, 70%, yet we're looking for higher mathematics, okay? So mathematics, 80%, apart from computation science and AI, it requires 90% mathematics, a bit higher because it's more applied mathematics, okay? Now, natural science, physics or chemistry, 80%. I say physics or chemistry, 80%. The same documents. So you may ask, what's the advanced mathematics? Let me just keep you at ease. All the Turkish high school students I've received so far, they have done advanced mathematics. You don't call it advanced mathematics. You just call it mathematics in many cases. These are the syllabus that we need from you. Basically, you just need to copy, paste this in a Word file, give it to a teacher. Your teacher will tick at least 70% of the syllabus. Your school stamps it, and then you send it within your application, all right? Okay, now, if you do not have the Turkish curriculum, or you do not have the GPA, the required GPA, or you do not meet our advanced mathematics, you can do SAT. SAT is a backdoor, an alternative to applying to LUT. I repeat, it's not mandatory. It's another option, an alternative to apply to LUT. Mathematics, 700 for all degree programs, apart from competition on AI. That requires 750, okay? And then evidence-based reading and writing or language, 600. Okay, you are in. Now, again, another alternative. If you are applying to engineering and you do not have the required mathematics level, okay, or you haven't covered the syllabus that we require, you can go for our MPT test. Our MPT test takes 3 hours and a half online. You do it from home. 3 days, you get results. That's it. We need the minimum 60%, okay, to apply the MPT. So basically, if you apply the SAT, we do not need GPA. We do not need your advanced mathematics, nor do we look at the score of your GPA in high school. SAT is enough. Okay, but obviously we need a transcriptive record, but we don't assess your GPA, neither in mathematics nor in general GPA. Plus, we don't need an English language certificate. Okay, our MPT, it only exempts you from advanced mathematics in engineering. All right, now for those who have IB, International Baccalaureate, European Baccalaureate, or Cambridge A levels, please go and check our website. Again, rolling admission, you'll find it's easier for you. So I know that there's so many students who attend private schools in Turkey. It's much easier for those who do Cambridge A-level, European Baccalaureate, and International Baccalaureate. We don't have time to dig into that today. Obviously, if you have got questions, you can always ask our admission. I'll provide you with their email by the end of my presentation. Now, language. If you're applying a Turkish curriculum, high school transcriptive records, certificate. If you finalize already your studies in high school, if not, then of course later on you send a certificate. Then you need if you haven't done your high school in English, let's say with IB or European Baccalaureate, or with the A levels Cambridge, then we need a score of the language. For example, IELTS is one of the most popular, or Cambridge in Turkey, and these are the language exams that we recognize. Okay, IELTS is a reference 6.5. Now, of course, you might be asking at this point, so how much does it cost to live in Finland? It doesn't cost much. 400 euros to 400 to 500 euros if you would like to have your own studio, privacy. Or if you'd like to have a shared apartment, you're looking at around 300 euros. You share an apartment with another student, okay? Then now, access to the sports gym. We have 60 sports clubs here at LUT. Ball games, individual games, professional, individual and team games. You're looking at 30 euros per semester, meaning only 60 euros for the whole year. Access to healthcare, you're looking at around 80 euros per year, 75 euros, 36 per semester, okay, for the whole semester. By 2, so you're looking at the whole year. Lunch buffet at our campus, it costs only €2.95. There are a lot of subsidies, as you can see, at our campus by the Finnish government for international students as well as for local students. Normally, that food would cost €7.50. Myself, as an employee at LUT, I would pay €7.50 for that. We have language center where you can learn many languages, and obviously mainly Finnish language for free. We have career services to help you with brushing up your culture when it comes to tapping into the Finnish market of work. They invite you when the companies are around in campus, and they work with you to come and do career evenings where you come and meet up successful entrepreneurs, startups in Finland, and obviously you can have an individual meeting with them to talk about your practical trainings in summer with companies. Now, meet a local friend, family, quite quick. This is a scheme for students who come to Lappeenranta or Lahti. They can sign up to hang out with the Finnish family. They can do shopping with them, do public holidays together. This is a scheme that LUT has come up with to help international students exchange their culture with the locals, as well as to practice the Finnish language. You can read about this in our website further. Now, admission criteria and dates. For masters, unfortunately, it's already done for this year. Next year, October, early admission starts in around 1st of October until 15th. It will be announced by May. And then there is another entrance or another application period in regular, which is from December to January. Okay, these are for master. So masters, and then we're not gonna go deeper on that, but master, please pay attention to the following. The required documents we need: your previous studies, meaning did you do Bachelor of Science? If you'd like to apply for Masters in Engineering, what's your GPA? These are all available in our website. English language test certificates and scores, and sometimes we have evaluation, which is an interview. Now, if you'd like to find out more, go to early admission, LUT Master, or regular admission, LUT Master. Each program has its own admission criteria. Some pictures from our campus. And that's on the right bottom, that's a standard of a student accommodation here for high standards with affordable living costs or accommodation fees. Now, last but not least, more pictures. On the top right, that's Lappeenranta, where I'm checking today in from, and that's the Saimaa Lake, the biggest lake in Finland and the biggest the fourth biggest in Europe, meaning you have a lot of nature surrounding you, especially in summer, to enjoy the city. Now, the last thing I'm coming up with today is one crazy idea that one of the professors, his name is Jamie Hyneman. Jamie Hyneman, Google his name, is a guy behind the Mythbusters series, the Netflix one, BBC Press. Please Google his name, he's very popular. He is originally from the US, and he has established a prototyping center for students to go and create any product of their choice and use the laboratory for free. So many products have been created so far in there. One of them is the motorcycle that runs 100% with electricity, created 100% by our students, where at Jamie Hyneman Scientific Center. Let's have a look at Jamie Hyneman Scientific Center.
Yes, video also as we cannot hear the sound. And we have like 5 minutes left. You can go a little bit faster. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Zainab.
Can we skip this video as we cannot hear the sound? And also we have a little time left.
Just a minute. Have you done the multiple sharing? I'll try to see here. Okay, if you've done that, it should give me, well, it doesn't give me the right for that still, unfortunately. But that would be a problem. Anyways, I can actually
also have like 12 questions. If we can go a little bit faster, that would be great.
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Zina. All right. Let's just finish this off. Yeah. Let's just finish this off, and then I'll share the link to the students in case I'd like to watch it later. All right, so that was Jamie Hyneman Scientific Center. Now, I can basically share this with you as a link. You can watch it later if you want, but now we can take questions. Zainab, would you like to bring up the questions, or you want me to see, because the questions are in Turkish, unless helps me here? But for now, I think I'll stop sharing for the sake of reading the questions quite properly. Yeah. Okay, so what kind of education programs must have to be eligible to apply for master's programs? Okay, for master's, you need to have something aligned. For example, if you'd like to apply for engineering, you have to have Bachelor of Science. But if you'd like to be more specific, choose your study program at LUT, and then in there, you will see what are the requirements based on your background. If you would like if you have got more questions, I can share with you the email of our admission team to find out more. But basically, if you'd like to apply for engineering, you need Bachelor of Science in Engineering. If you'd like to business, normally Bachelor of Science in Business or Business Administration. Now, in some degree programs in engineering, you can apply even with business degree program. When it comes to social and communication sciences, if you've done journalism, languages, philosophy, psychology, these are the programs that make you eligible to apply for social and communication sciences. Are there any Finnish language requirements for international students? Yes, we have Finnish language center where you can learn Finnish for free. And we have it within our curriculum as well. Is it possible to work part-time while studying, support living costs? Yes, 30 hours per week. Can you share a common challenge new students face? Are they okay? I think Elp will answer this one. Elp, please.
Öncelikle merhabalar. Adım Alp Meriç. Üniversitede 1. sınıf öğrencisiyim. Sorunuzu da Türkçe olarak cevaplamak istiyorum. Yeni gelen öğrencilerin herhalde karşılaştıkları ilk sorunlardan birincisi öncelikle yeni bir ülke olduğu için kuralları bilmek, bilmemek ve dile daha yatkınlıkları olmadığı için bu tip sorunlar yaşayabilirler. Ama en iyi tarafı Finlandiya'nın halkın çoğunun İngilizce bilmesi. O yüzden dil konusunda öğrencinin her ne kadar sorun yaşayacağını düşünse de o kadar fazla sorun yaşamayacak. Onun dışında yeni bir ülkeye, yeni bir kültüre adım atmak da açıkçası şahsi olarak benim için bir problemdi. Ancak öğrenci tabii ki de yeni insanları tanıyarak, yeni arkadaşlarını tanıyarak bu sorunları kaldırabilir. Oryantasyon haftası dediğimiz bir haftamız var ve orada öğrencilerden, benim gibi öğrenciler, tutorlar öğrencilere yeni geldiklerinde neler yapmaları gerektiğini, herhangi bir sorunları varsa bunu çözmeleri için yardımda bulunuyor. Ben de seneye tutor olarak görev yapacağım. Ve tabii ki de bütün tutorlar İngilizce biliyorlar, İngilizce yabancı öğrenciler olduğu için bütün sorularınızı halledebilirler. Yani o yüzden çok da büyük bir sorun yaşayacaklarını açıkçası düşünmüyorum. Ancak çoğunlukla ilk gelen öğrencilerin bildirimleri bu şekilde.
Okay, thank you, El. So, fantastic. Right, so more questions. Is buses in Finland after? Yes, you can stay in Finland after graduation. You have got 2 years, right, to stay in Finland. Okay, so you've got 2 years to stay in Finland to look for a job. Okay, and only to find a job, obviously, you can stay longer. Yeah, welcome. What is the exam structure, grading, testing, this cross-off examination like? Okay, this is a long one. Let me see. We'll get back to that one. Application, you said, and then for application to start in autumn this year, the application is until the end of April. Autumn this year. If you would like to start in August now, 2025, then the application period is until the end of April. If you'd like to apply to start in 2026, then the application will start from November until the end of April. So November 2025 until the end of April 2026. Scholarship, you don't need to apply for scholarship. If you're applying now for LUT University this year, or in August, you'll get an early bird discount, as I mentioned earlier. And then second year, you get it automatically. So you get it automatically if you cover the 60 credits. Where's it going to take in joint or combined course? Good question, quite long. Unfortunately, we don't have time for that one. What are transports like? Are most things available on campus?
Şöyle, La Perante kampüsündeyseniz eğer Yokko dediğimiz bir şirket bizdeki İstanbul'daki İEFT gibi çalışıyor. Öğrencilerin aylık öğrenci kartı almaları gerekiyor. Daha indirimli ve ayrıca bütün ay içerisinde 30 gün boyunca sınırsız. Bu otobüs kartını şehir merkezinden veya okul kampüsü içinde bulunan kafeden alabilirsiniz. Bu yıl için fiyatı 47 euro 50 cent olarak belirlendi. Onun dışında most things available on campus. Dediğim gibi kampüs içerisinde bulunan kafeden de otobüs kartını alabilirsiniz. Onu ek olarak da kampüs içerisinde 3 adet öğrencilere indirimli yemek veren restoranda bulunmakta.
Fantastic. Okay, last, Fuson Balik Sunli. If you'd like to find out about the IB students, please go write rolling admission. I'll write that to you quite quick. Rolling admission, LUT, quite quick. I wish we had more time so that we can show you even further. IB. Okay, here we go. Type the answer. So here we go. Please check out this link. Genetic engineering department? No, unfortunately not. All right. Very good question. Application fee this year, no application fee. Next year, yes, 100 euros. Yes, you can apply. So this question here for Turkish students, yes, if you're graduating in June, then of course you can apply without your final certificate in the 12th grade. You can apply with that. You don't have to wait for the year. So you finalize your studies. No, you can apply with the first semester on your 12th grade. Okay, so you can do that. That's possible. And then later on, when you graduate in August, maximum the end of August, you have to send us your final certificate, scanned by email online, translated. So in Turkish language and in English language, all right? Okay. Zeynep, yeah, I think we are done.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation, Ilyas. And you covered all of the questions. Thank you for your answers as well. And thank you, Alp, for the answers as well. And also I would like to thank the participants in Turkish too. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Diğer webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. LUT Üniversite ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için chat kısmında paylaşılmış olan mail adresinden İlyas her zaman ulaşabilirsiniz. Thank you very much again, you guys. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFTalks.
You too, Zeynep. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.